You're now listening to the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Welcome into another episode of the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Podcast, brought to you by RotoBaller. If you get over to rotoballer.com right now, use promo code GARAGE for the premium fantasy content. That's for NASCAR, NFL. Rub them hands together, Drew. Yes,
rub them. Baby, we're heating up. Guy
that never been on this podcast. Rub them hands together. Rub them hands. We're heating up. We're heating up. This is Clay, by the way. We'll introduce him formally soon. But if you get over to RotoBaller now, like we said, use that promo code. You are going to get articles from Drew for NFL and NASCAR. He's doing the premium rankings for NFL and NASCAR. As always, you can get my NASCAR articles for free every weekend before a race. But that's not all you need. You need more. You need to know how to get these lineups in and how to do them, and that's where Drew's work comes in. So use that promo code, once again, GARAGE at rotoballer.com. And it's not only DFS rankings. Drew is now doing best bets for NFL, 10-2 in week 2 of the NFL.
They're trying to kill me over there, Chase. They're trying to
money bags.
They're trying to put me to the grave early. But no, I'm loving it. I'm coming off a hot week, and I think I'm going to have another 4-unit play this week. So excited about that.
It looks sexy, and I'm digging it. All right. So, yeah, again, rotoballer.com, promo code GARAGE. Baller. We don't even have a catchphrase for our own company. Jesus. We need to figure that out. So as you all can see now here, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening, you have no idea what's going on. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. But for all you guys that are watching on YouTube, we thank you. And as you can see below, we have a special guest. This is Clay Keaton. He is the host of the brand new SEC football podcast, Section 65, on the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Network. Clay, welcome officially to the GGFS podcast.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here. We are 2 days away from SEC football. It's getting a little hectic down here in the South.
Oh yeah, and in the Ville, in the Knox.
Knox is getting a little crazy. Everybody's got their orange masks on. People are walking around. City's booming. Everything closes at 11. But other than that,
you don't close at 11, though. So you have the official after parties for after everyone wins a bunch of money for all the SEC picks you give out?
Sure.
Sure? All right, we like it. So
Drew, before we ask him about the picks, can I ask him about the punching the Kentucky fan real quick?
We can, because we got to talk about backstory before we get into any picks. I wasn't even going to tell it, but now the Garage fam knows we're giving out SEC picks. So stay tuned. But – yeah, we have to talk about this. I guess just to forward that, found Clay back in, March, April of this year on TikTok. He made like a video that went like viral as hell on TikTok. And it did have the video of you punching a Kentucky fan. So, yeah, to get back to Drew's question, just tell us about the story.
All right. So
take the glasses
historically,
off for this one.
The glasses came off.
Yeah. Historically, the Kentucky Wildcats are just they've never really competed with the balls on the football field very well. And when I travel up there, I like to remind them of that. So last year, a couple of buddies and I went up there and we won, obviously. And we were walking out of the stadium and we'd been drinking a little bit throughout the day. It was a night game, and we were very excited over the win. And some Kentucky fans who I don't think they were even in the stadium. A lot of them just hang out in the parking lot and drink bourbon. It's kind of weird.
It wasn't basketball season. Yeah.
No. That's just a side note. Kentucky basketball fans and Kentucky football fans are totally different crowd. It's like an elite group of like well-off, like older people who go to Rupp Arena, and then there's like all the necks who just can't afford to get into the basketball games, so they just go to the Kentucky football games.
Here we go.
And so we're walking out, and I'm a big guy, and this guy starts chirping, and obviously I'm chirping back, but that part's not in the video. And so he gets in my face, and I have a weird thing for I like to grab people's hats and throw them down and step on them. That's like my thing.
Shame the fuck out of them, huh?
Yeah, and you can see kind of in the climax of the video, I go for this guy's hat, and he, I didn't get it, but then he comes at me, and his total approach was, he was probably 5'6", overweight.
And how tall are you, just to give the listeners some insight?
I'm measuring in at about 6'8", 318 right now.
Okay, yeah, big difference.
Yeah, so he comes at me, and I didn't really swing. I just kind of put my arm up, kind of put my hand up, and he just ate my hand, palmed him to the ground. He laid there, and I kind of looked over him, and he looked up at me, and he was just like, "Just get the fuck out of here." And so we left, because there was they were coming after us. It would have been about 2 on 10. And so I kind of sunk down in a crowd, and we saw some Vol fans driving by. They had their car decked out in stickers, and we ran out in the middle of the road, waved them down, got in their car, and they took us where we were staying.
So, if you had to compare this to Bible characters, he was like Zacchaeus, the wee little man, and you were like Goliath from David and Goliath.
Yeah, you should. I'm more of I kind of, if we're talking about biblical characters, I definitely think that Samson is more of who I would be. If you don't know who Samson is, you'll have to Google him. But after
go
you
to church,
after you
don't you need some long hair for that?
Well,
they sell wigs, man. You can fix that.
Look, I'm not gonna grow my hair out, but my overall strength and mantra and overall standing, I would choose Samson for myself. Although I'm a little cocky.
All right, big
Chase,
Samson.
I like how think about company icebreakers. You talk to people and they're like, where are you from, or name an interesting fact. Our first question is, talk about the time you punched somebody.
Dude, it literally, yeah, exactly. That's what we do here at Garage Guys. That's what we're about. We're not the normal standard by any measure at all. But the video, yeah, you literally look like something out of a movie. It was like you were like a stunt from a film where you just literally held your arm up and he just got knocked out. Yeah. And that's all it took.
Yeah, we were actually really fortunate because my buddy who filmed it, Chuck, his phone died right in the middle of it. So we didn't know if we had the video. We didn't know.
Oh, that's the worst.
But thank God we did.
Pleasant surprise the next day.
Absolutely. It just broke the internet. So other things from that video, obviously, certified wild guy. Notice that right off the bat. So everybody here at the Garage Fam know, they know. If you come to work with Garage Guys, we're wild boy at heart. There's something there. But you also played football for the University of Tennessee, and obviously Tennessee, you're in Knoxville, you're a huge Tennessee fan. You were on the O-line, and I think the most recent episode you had 2 guys that played football with you on as well. So tell us a little bit about that experience, what it's like playing at the collegiate level in the SEC.
I came from a small private school in Knoxville. I was originally going to play FCS ball at a school in North Carolina called Campbell University. I got a call from one of the Tennessee coaches. They said, "Hey, you can come be a preferred walk-on." I got released by the NCAA. It's probably a 30-minute story that I'm summarizing in 10 seconds, but pretty much told Campbell to eat shit and left and went to UT. And, the biggest thing that I noticed is – first thing I noticed is I'm not good enough to play in a game for the University of Tennessee. That's the first thing I noticed. The second thing I noticed – yeah, I just didn't have the flexibility. And growing up in Knoxville, being a fan my whole life, it couldn't have gotten any bigger for me than running through the tee. Just because realistically, I knew that if I would have been out there on the field, I would have been hurting us, and I would have been okay with that in my heart. So, but like I said, SEC football. It's insane. Like in that latest episode with Thomas and Brett, we got into a lot of the things that people don't know, a lot of the things that people don't understand. And, people are really excited for this SEC only football season, but people don't realize how brutal it's going to be and how hard it's going to be on these guys, on their bodies. That's why I quit. I went through fall camp, went through the season, and I was like, there's no way in hell I'm doing that again. I got my year in and I'm done.
Yeah. You got what you needed. Now
I got all the gear. I got all the chicks. I got everything. I'm good. It was a great ride. I dream about it all the time. All the time I dream about it.
At least you can say you did it too.
And it's a huge deal, man, especially around Knoxville. I've got this fat ass Outback Bowl ring, and anytime I'm going anywhere that there's high profile people, I'll put that ring on, and it's just instant. Hey, you want a job? pretty much that kind of deal around Knoxville.
Okay, and also intimidation for Vandy fans. You're a big Vandy hater, along with a lot of other people. Drew actually lives in Nashville. So where does this hate stem from for people that might be watching this that are big NASCAR fans and NFL, maybe don't really watch too much college football? I know me being like an LSU fan growing up, like that's all I really knew. So I didn't know much about Vandy. I didn't even know Vandy existed still until you talked about them. So there we go. there's
well, that's a great preface for them because they are very irrelevant, pathetic pathetic program. Titans are a pathetic franchise. Sorry, wrong Nashville.
You show respect for Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, whatever. No, so honestly, the truth behind the Vandy thing is when I was in middle school, I had this really weird youth director that forced me to go to this Sunday school class with honestly a bunch of weird kids that I didn't get along with, and I asked him if I could go to the grade above with the kids that I was friends with, and he wouldn't let me, and that motherfucker was a Vanderbilt fan, and so from ever since then, I hated
You compare religion to Vanderbilt?
Well, I mean, this guy would get up on – and Vandy, like, beat us a couple times back when that was going on, and so
oh, God.
Like, he would get up in front of the whole church and, like, say, like, yeah, Clay Keaton's probably up there and, top row still crying about that game. And it was like a massive Southern Baptist church. Like, it wasn't like –
oh, yeah, like totally like hypocritical, exposing church style. Yeah, I grew up in that. I know what that's like.
Yeah, and so basically what happened is I pretty much excommunicated myself from that youth group, never went back, and I hate Vandy now.
All right, that's a hell of a hate story right there. Intertwined.
I would not have guessed that. I would have guessed just like, man, they suck, and you had like a run-in with the fans.
Well, and like they had this whole like spiel a couple years ago where they were saying that it was our state, and they would put the freaking T upside down where it looked like an anchor, and like
it sounds sacrilegious.
But this is rooted in you from a long time ago. I mean, this is years.
This is in the fiber of your being, like deep.
Well, and it really, and like when I was like little, like I wouldn't even think like I wouldn't even think about Vandy because it was like we were playing like Fresno State again because Tennessee was good when I was little, and Vandy would come in and we would literally beat them like 49-0 every year, and then they got a little bit good when they got James Franklin, and beat us a couple times, and that youth pastor tormented me, and used it against me and tortured me in that class with a bunch of weirdos.
You need to find this guy and to take it out on him. You need to Kentucky whop him.
I mean, he's actually a pretty good guy, but he's a Vandy fan. So
okay. He's a man of God, so it's gonna be hard. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of tough. All right. So other than that,
Vandy can go to heaven.
Oh, bold statements. All right. No Vandy fans go to heaven. Official. Stamped it. All right. Drew's just like, I don't know what to say right now.
That's your words, not mine.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
big
looking for that bad karma.
Yeah, I guess. So obviously, you guys know you need to be following and subscribing to the Section 65 podcast. You have a co-host on there as well, Tanner. Big Bills Mafia guy, breaks tables. I don't think he breaks tables. He doesn't look like a table breaking kind of guy.
Nah, I think you might be a little too small for that. I really hope the Bills can give him something to cheer for this year. I really do.
Josh Allen is doing the damn thing, man. I picked him up in like all my fantasy leagues, so it's paying off.
Yeah,
so I'm digging it.
He's also a Gamecock fan. I don't think that is going to work out too well for him this year.
Good element, though, to have the Gamecock fan and the Tennessee fan. I've had a couple of people actually hit me up this week because, us being down here in Louisiana, they're just like, why didn't you get somebody that was an LSU fan? I was like, who wants that? Like, who wants that, really? There's enough of that down here. We're good. we're gonna keep it in the middle. But honestly, I would love to hear. I've heard some of your takes on LSU listening to the show. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that are watching this that are our Louisiana followers. So they're going to want to hear that as well. You guys have a hotline now, too, that everyone needs to be calling on a weekly basis that are SEC fans. Do you have that number in front of you? Because if you don't, I do.
Yeah. I mean, if you do, I do. It's
yeah.
Let's see here. Maybe you have it quicker than me.
I can get it. I can get it right now. It's right here.
727-900-6565. Section 65.
So that's 727 SEC 6565.
Yep, that's correct.
Very simple stuff. We love it. We love numbers.
Picks. I want some picks.
Yeah. So here on this show, I think you have 3 picks to give the Garage fam for this first weekend of SEC football. So what we got cooking? What are you cooking up?
I've actually changed one of them as we've been talking here. So
all right.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Yeah, well, I really like to dig deep and bounce ideas off some of my guys who I gamble with. What I'm gonna go with for this weekend, I originally have said or I told Drew Ole Miss plus 14.5. We're gonna swap that. We're gonna go Florida minus 14.
Ooh.
I don't think Ole Miss is gonna. They're doing too much with their quarterbacks. They haven't named a starter. I was kind of confident in Kiffin, but I think Florida is going to win the East. I think that it'll be a close game in the first half, but I can see Florida definitely winning.
You don't believe in freshwater?
No. I do believe in freshwater, but not this first game against the Gators.
All right. Fair enough.
I like your change. I support the change.
You like that? Yeah, I thought you would like that. And then, not to be a hometown boy here.
But shut up. Yeah, you are. Yeah, all the way.
I'm really careful with my Vols bets because I'm so emotionally invested already that when I have money on the line, it's like, it's bigger than anything I can actually think of.
It's emotion and money.
Yeah, there's literally nothing you can name that could be more important to me. But Tennessee right now is minus 3.5. I would take it up to 6. Obviously, these lines might move a little bit, but Tennessee minus 3.5. South Carolina just doesn't really have anybody offensively. They got a new offensive coordinator. They're trying this new quarterback out, Colin Hill, who is a transfer from Colorado State. But there's a big difference between going from Colorado State to South Carolina playing this SEC competition. So we'll see how that goes. And then my last one. And I hate to even pick them, and I hate to even say that they might be as good as people are saying that they are. But Kentucky plus 10.5 looks pretty good at Auburn.
Whoa.
Kentucky, it's tough. Kentucky actually –
I can't remember the last time. That's
old. Just seeing his face as he's announcing the pick is great. I'm loving it.
Yeah, you're just like dead inside having to say this.
No, I hate Kentucky, man. But Kentucky plus 10.5. I mean, unfortunately they brought some guys back. I'm not Auburn. Bo Nix, their offense is okay. Their defense might be a little bit down this year, but I wouldn't take it under 10 if it moves. But Kentucky plus 10.5 is what I'm going to go with. So Tennessee minus 3.5. Gators. I can't believe I'm picking the Gators and Kentucky.
Just go ahead. Let's go ahead and clear the air. Like, you just hate every other team in the SEC but Tennessee.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I love Nick Saban. I love Mike Leach. I like Georgia, even though Kirby Smart's an asshole.
Mike Leach is going to be amazing.
I don't have any beef with Missouri. They're just over there doing nothing. South Carolina just sucks. They've never done anything. Vandy has personally affected me, so that's a little different. Kentucky, I knocked that guy out. I don't have any beef with LSU. I like LSU. My aunt and uncle from Baton Rouge. I like
Big corn dog guy.
Coach O?
Yeah. I like Sam Pittman down at Arkansas, too. I mean, I'm not a hater. But definitely Gators, Cats, Vandy. And, I mean, I guess I hate Alabama, but I respect Nick Saban.
Yeah, that's fair.
Clay, do you anticipate the line moving on Tennessee? Because you said, play it to 6. Do you recommend go ahead and play it now?
It started out at, I think, 1. And has gone up to 3.5. I was actually looking at was texting Tanner earlier on. Tennessee, the team over under for Tennessee is 24.5 now. It opened at 27, and South Carolina has moved from 24 to 21. So I don't know.
This is worrying you, man. You're just going at it.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, man. I'm getting real nervous. Tomorrow's Thursday, man. It's
here.
It's here, and it's wild. I can't believe it's here, and I can't believe we're actually doing it. But
I almost want to make the drive to
you guys will have to
Tennessee.
check on me on Saturday because I mean I'll be up at 5 a.m. probably ready to roll.
All right. Well, we know that, and all the Garage fam knows that again. And they that number again was. Let's go back to that number one more time. Is it 929 area code?
927, I think.
927-SEC-6565 is the number to call. And that number is good for you to ask opinions on bets. It's for you to talk about bad beats. It's for you to hype up your team. It's for you to ask questions for Clay and for Tanner, for anything and everything to be aired on the SEC Football Podcast, Section 65 podcast. So, SEC
I challenge
football,
any Vanderbilt fans. If there are any Vanderbilt fans out there, please call in the show and let us know that you're out there somewhere.
I'm going to go make cards with that number on it and just go to like Nashville and pass them all around and put like Vandy support line and then make them all call it.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah, it is. Like that would be the best.
I feel like literally when you go to the bars in Nashville, Clay, and the same for me, we should just leave cards laying around like at bars until somebody like tells you to stop.
We'll call it the Vandy hype line, and then they'll all call it thinking they're calling to talk about Vanderbilt. But then probably only like 8 people would call it.
Yeah, I don't even know. Problem. Unfortunately, I don't know if that would even have any success even in Nashville.
Damn.
You know?
Yeah, now that I think of it, I can't think of anybody either.
Even if people would, that would be like the ultimate troll if they did call in and they were thinking they were like talking to like a –
wow, I found another Vandy fan. Yeah. Finally.
You trolling?
I can't even joke about this. This is real life. This isn't. We've triggered Clay.
I just, you guys are gonna see the passion, man.
And we're ready for it.
Yeah,
we're ready.
Hey, Drew, we're at Vandy. We're at Vandy this year too. So I mean, maybe we could all, have a little powwow in Nashville.
We should tailgate it. We should tailgate this one.
Well, they're actually not having fans, obviously, but they said that. Right.
I'll wear Rocky Top gear. I don't care.
What do you mean you don't care? Like you don't mind? Like you're doing us a service?
I'm here. I'm here for it, man. Yeah, I'll orange up.
You look so stressed though. Like I'm ready for you to enjoy the game, man.
I know, man.
I'll start sweating talking about it. Like I'll start sweating talking about it. Like I got this shit tattooed on my leg, man. Like it's a big deal to me.
Can you show us?
Did you know that, Drew?
Yeah, I know. You sent me a picture one time, or I saw it from Chase. But
you got shorts on? Here we go.
You're showing us.
Look at this. This man is serious.
Are you feeling any added pressure for providing gambling picks? Is that some of the stress, or is it just the Tennessee ball stuff?
Realistically, I'm a little nervous about the South Carolina game. It's a must-win game for us. If we don't win, it could really hammer our whole season. I mean, they're pretty terrible, but sometimes they find a way to play us well. And we've only beaten Will Muschamp one time, and it was last year. So.
I mean, they can't be that terrible, right? The spread's less than a touchdown.
Well, yeah,
are you more nervous that Tanner would just be going off and just having a good time on your ass, like if they did win?
I mean, honestly, I'm just nervous as a whole, but I think that Tennessee will win by two or more touchdowns.
What's his stance on the game? Is he taking South Carolina on the spread?
No, he's gonna take South Carolina. Him and I are gonna have a little bet going, but. I think if he's gonna take Tennessee as well, like on his actual bet. But I mean, him and I are gonna put $100 on just money line straight up.
This is general concern. This is good information though.
Yeah, good info.
We see the concern here. So
it's
obviously it's going to be big, but look, more information to come if you guys are subscribed to the podcast. Again, Section 65 podcast. It's on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. You can get it right here if you're subscribed to YouTube. You can go click down and watch it. Be sure to be tuning in every week if you are a college football fan. SEC now lives in the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Virtual Garage. We're here. Clay, thanks so much for being on, and we are ready for the season, and we are ready for you to guide us through the SEC waters. So here's a paddle and take us to the promised land.
I'll get us out of Schitt's Creek.
All right. Good job. Welcome back, RotoBallers. Welcome back to another NASCAR DFS preview show with the Garage Guys. Yeah. I'm Garage Guy Chase, Chef Boy, cooking up winners. Coming off of a Bristol night race. It's pretty wild. Kevin Harvick doing the thing. Kyle Busch almost doing the thing and basically got himself into a negative space. I don't think he's coming back from that, man. He's so negative. Like, Samantha just needs to get that man yoga. That's all I can say.
Maybe he's setting everybody up just to win this weekend.
Yeah, that would be crazy, except he is in Las Vegas, and plus, like, he's already, like, pretty much put the energy out there that, like, he's like, we're not going to win, so we're out in round 2. Who cares? I don't like that. I don't like that talk.
You don't like that negative energy.
I'm not about that life. Like, if you really going to speak some stuff, like, he just spoke that into existence in my mind. Like, I'm off of it. But yeah, it's the South Point 400 weekend in Las Vegas, Nevada. So we're going to Sin City for the 400. I got to talk to a couple of guys this past week, and I was like, what do you guys do when you're there for a race? And we walk the strip and we do normal Vegas things. I was like, can you tell me what happens? And they were like, the same rules apply. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Nice.
So it's the same for everybody.
At least you're not lame. At least they're not, going there and just sitting in the hotel room or, not doing anything.
Oh yeah. No, high key big times.
Yeah.
In the vague. You know what I mean? In the LV.
The people that are being lame, I'm not a fan of them. Like that's going to decide who I root for and who I don't.
That's right. Yeah, we don't want no lames. I think that we've got a pretty good list for this week though for our DFS picks. I don't think that there's many lames. There may be like one guy on here that people would consider a lame, but we're changing the narrative for this guy. A lot of people hate this guy after this week too. So
I think I know who you're talking about.
I think so too. So you guys might as well. But before we get into these picks, as always, get over to rotoballer.com. Use promo code GARAGE for the NASCAR premium content Drew and I put together. Drew puts together rankings. We have articles for Xfinity and trucks. Justin Carter, Sean Engel, they're putting some great stuff together as well. And as always, you can read my article for free on RotoBaller, but don't just stop there. You need to know more in-depth analysis. So you'll get Drew's rankings, you'll get our value picks by Sean Engel, and you will have a ton of data at your fingertips, literally, and a lineup optimizer as well. So even though the season's winding down, we're just getting started. It's Vegas week, Sin City. So go ahead, put that code in there, and let's bag some tourneys. All right.
That's right. And come join me on that way too, because I know you're so much further ahead on this. I'm basically just hanging out with you in this video because I'm so consumed with football, but all my NASCAR race research will pretty much be done Friday night. So
get in there.
Get in there. Yeah.
I was just waiting to say it the whole time, but I heard everything you said. That's right. You can use promo code GARAGE for anything on rotoballer.com. So if you're a football guy and you like NASCAR, perfect. Promo code GARAGE, because you're probably there for us anyway, because the Garage Guys energy. That's all there is to say. You're at RotoBaller, Garage Guys. Simple. All right, so let's go ahead and roll. Yeah, I love chase math. It's been a while since I've done some chase math. I might have a little for us tonight. We'll see.
Okay, let's hear it.
Let's go ahead and start off with these picks, though. First pick right off the bat, Denny Hamlin, 11K on DraftKings, 13.3K on FanDuel. He's starting in 10th. Now, look, Denny hasn't had the best record at Vegas by any means. The last race that we had here was in February, so we have a little bit of recent data. However, there's been so much has changed. Those guys had practice. They knew what to do. They knew how to get everything involved. So things are different. He started 4th and finished 17th back in February. Now he's just rolling off the truck. It's guns a-blazing, and we've seen what he can do guns a-blazing. So I think with him starting in 10th, it's going to be a lot different. He hasn't had a great finish. Or the best finish. Basically, he hasn't had a win in a couple of races now. So I feel like he's due. It's the fresh start of the second round of the playoffs, and he's coming off of a huge weekend. Him and Michael Jordan are forming a NASCAR team, and Bubba Wallace is going to be driving it. It's electric. So he's got a lot of good energy in him right now, and I think that this is going to be one of those races where he gets to let loose and let out that good energy.
I'm just here to clown on you. So I feel like I saw some tweets from you saying that Denny Hamlin's your pick to win it all, right? So
pretty much, yeah.
I feel like you just kind of think he's due. I haven't really dig too much into Hamlin, but I will say, Chase, with what we've seen this year, Hamlin and Harvick have got to be on our radar every race.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
Yeah, till the end, we got to be probably talking about one of the two. I think we've had a few weeks recently where we didn't talk about either. So, time to get back to it. I don't know where he'll fall in my rankings, but I definitely will have shares of Mr. Hamlin or Mr. Dennis Hamlin, as you said.
Dennis Hamlin, the Hamlet, the Hamburglar.
The Hamburger.
All right. We'll figure it out. He's going to steal a win. And look, yeah, you mentioned Harvick as well. Look, Harvick's starting on the pole. We've seen what Harvick can do. Harvick's been winning left and right. I personally feel like this is one of those races where he's, the last win he had, I think, was in 2018 at this track. It's not to say that he can't do it, but I just feel like as far as, the whole shebang goes, I think that this is going to come down to Denny being able to move up, get those place differential points, and I definitely can see Denny leading laps, especially if he has a car that he may have raced at Homestead, Miami, or something. Mm-hmm. That was another track that he has not been that great at, and then he got on and just completely went to town. That was also probably the worst weekend of our life. So, shout out to that. So we're not going to make the same mistake twice just because the record shows something different. So, yeah, Denny Hamlin. Next pick that we have, and this is the one where you guys might be like, whoa, lame-o. Look, all right, all we know is what we see about this man on camera, and that's Joey Logano, Joseph L. Okay? I'm not even going to use the normal Joey Logano PNG. We're going to go ahead and throw the Joseph L. Joseph L. There he is. All right, Joseph L. is going to be 10.
Can you put him with glasses on?
Oh yeah, he's already down there, man. He's got the pit vipers on. He's rocking the mullet. It's nice. Look at him. Look at it.
Oh, I see him.
All right, cool. Yeah. It's Joseph L. There he is. He's going to be 10.3K on DraftKings, 12.8K on FanDuel. He's starting in 5th. Reason we like Joey. So Joey hasn't track history for one yet, and he won this race back in February. So let's be smart here for a minute. He's already had a race. He had the race-winning car, and his crew chief knows what to do here. They've already won at this track. I think that they're going to be able to recreate that setup, maybe even bring the same car. And if that happens, Joey is going to be on fire, and he's probably a contender to pull a back-to-back at this track. And the reason I say that is because a lot of these other tracks that we've seen Joey at, they didn't really get to get on and test out and practice on and figure out what they needed to do. A lot of people forget that at the beginning of the season, he was on pace to possibly be the guy, be in Harvick and Hamlin's position. He was on fire. So I'm looking for him to do really well at this race, possibly lead some laps. He might be able to get up there, be a dominator for this race. And he's going to be like an underground low-key dominator because we all know that everybody's going after Hamlin and Harvick pretty much week to week. And not saying that's a bad strategy. We'll have some lineups that way as well. I'm just feeling a little bit more Logano. I feel like he's going to probably be maybe a little bit lower owned, and that's just because of some of the past races. So that's why I like Mr. Joey. And shout out to Joseph L.
Yeah,
everybody, all the Busch fans hate him now.
Yeah, they'll hate you for sure. But man, I never feel good about playing Logano. I'll say that.
Respectable.
I like him more on the track, right? We like joking around with him. We like messing with his team. We know some guys over there, but I don't mind the play this week. I think he has the 5th best odds. And to your point about being a little bit more contrarian, that gives you an opportunity to get a little bit different of a lineup. So maybe if you go with a Hamlin-Joey combo or a Harvick-Joey combo, maybe you'll be a little bit different in the field. So I definitely don't mind taking some shots. You don't have to go overboard and play him in 100% of your lineups or 70% of your lineups, but maybe you plug him in 30, and that'll do. Get you overweight the field. So
that's it. GPP.
There you go.
There we go. A little something from our NFL video that we bring up. So GPP shot at the moon. Next driver we have, this is another one that's probably going to spark some weirdness, but I have a theory. So chill out. Ryan Blaney, 9.1K on DraftKings, 11.5K on FanDuel, starting in 15th. You're already looking confused. So let me fix you up real quick, okay? No, guys, we've already talked about this. We know this, but you don't. So here we go. I like Ryan because the pressure's off. Pressure's off now. He knows that there's nothing to go after. I feel like when Ryan, he's still like at a point in his career, like when a lot of pressure is there, he's still having a tough time trying to figure out how to handle that pressure. And maybe that's why we've seen some of this bad luck coming into these last few races when he was on his last leg trying to make it to the second round of the playoffs. But with this week, I feel like with him knowing that, okay, there's nothing to lose really here now. It is what it is. We're just going to go out there and have fun. I think the best he's ever finished at this track is 5th. So, I mean, he can pull some top fives. He had a pair of them in 2018. 2019, he finished top 5. And I think he finished 11th at this track back in February. So I definitely think the place differential points are there. He's had a fast car all season. If they bring that combination with zero pressure on his shoulders, I mean, we could see some really good stuff out there on the track from him. So that's one reason why I'm going for him. And I feel like he is another one of those plays that could be really good for GPP lineups.
Yeah, definitely a more GPP-centric episode, and I'm actually totally cool with that. I put him in the exact same bucket as Logano, and I don't think you're crazy for this play either, because looking at the odds, he's at plus 1,000, which isn't insane. I mean, Kyle Busch is plus at 800. Joey Logano is plus 700. So he's right in that same ballpark despite being eliminated from the playoffs. So just adding that context there from the betting angle. I think Harvick, Hamlin, Truex, Chase will all be more popular. So again, maybe consider some of these plays more of your GPP plays. Well, we're not saying to fade those other guys. We're just saying here's a way to be different in a playoff weekend.
Absolutely. Next play. This is my favorite play on the entire board. Mr. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He is going to be 7.8K on DraftKings and 7,000 on FanDuel. He's starting in 33rd because he wrecked out early. And it's magic because back in February, he ran insanely good at this track with his JTD Daughtery racing car, one of the other NBA players that own a team now. So now there's 2 guys. But yeah, looking at Ricky Stenhouse, man, he started 26th and finished 3rd in February. So no pressure on him either, just out there. And he shaved his mullet, man. Did you see that? Did you see
I'm a little upset with that.
Tough.
Could he not wait a few more weeks?
I think that it just had to do with he needed a change. Okay. So with that being said, if that's what he needs to make him feel right and make him feel good, I'm all for it because we already know that he's done work in this car at Vegas. So with him starting back there in 33rd, I think that this is going to be your huge value play this week at Vegas.
Maybe Danica's telling him to cut his hair.
Danica called her up.
Yeah.
Maybe he gave her a call. Maybe she threw him some crystals and said, you got to shave the hair.
You got to rekindle that flame. Got to rekindle the flame.
Can't light a crystal, but you can light a candle. And might have burned his hair off. So maybe that happened. Yeah. Who knows?
Dude, he's going to be the chalk boy.
Yeah, 100% chalk boy. Chalk boy of the week, stamp of approval, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. We're going to send him a box of chalk.
Under 38% ownership. Go.
Over.
Okay. Me too.
I say over.
Yeah.
Maybe right under 50 is what I'm seeing for him.
I mean, probably. There's not a ton of value place differential plays.
No, not at all, really. He's the biggest one.
Recce, man, he's burned us several times this year, but he's also made us a lot of money in a few key races. So maybe he'll do it again for us. It's just you got to understand the risk when you play Stenhouse. So yeah,
shine bright like a diamond, baby. But I mean, he's been better at these intermediate tracks, man, than the short tracks, and obviously the super speedways. He's always there, but it is good to see him improve with this new team at these intermediate tracks. So that's another reason why I do love the play this week there. So yeah, Ricky Recce. Wild boy nacho fry guy, Stenhouse. There we go. Last play on the board, deep value guy, more of the punt play of the week, a guy we also like, Corey LaJoie. He's going to be 5.5K on DraftKings, 4,000 on FanDuel starting in 31st. Now, we do have a bonus for you guys because there is a better option out there on FanDuel, we feel. Maybe not in his category, but just as a bonus to add on there. But with Corey at 5.5K on DraftKings, I do dig this play, the starting position. Reason being is because he did show some improvement as well back in February. So they already kind of know how they set the car up. They know what they need to do. As long as he can avoid wrecks and get out there and just kind of do the same thing over again, we should be in for a really good finish from Go Fast Racing. He started 30th and finished 16th in February at this track. I do love that. And then also too, I mean, like, he's still out there. They're still trying to figure out where he's going to be going next season. So he's still on that seat, man. So I think that this is going to be a week where he can really take advantage of a track that he's been good at and capitalize on that moving forward.
Yeah, no complaints from me. Just to kind of reiterate on your point about the difference in the sites. We're giving out a FanDuel specific play, but that's just really because you don't need a punt play on FanDuel. More likely than not, the key over there is getting the guys finishing in the top 10. So the punt plays are a little bit harder to cram in because you don't get those same dominator points on FanDuel. DraftKings is heavily it emphasizes those laps led and fastest laps. So just kind of wanted to hit home on that. But LaJoy will be a very popular pick on DraftKings to be your punt play. I'm not going to deep dive into analysis mode here, just more of you really need come playoff time to get some of these big boys in your lineup. Expensive guys that are racing for something. Big boy. Big boy. But you would agree on the DraftKings. You got to be cramming in, at least in some lineups. You got to be going stars and scrubs. You can still get away with some balanced lineups, but I never feel as good about the balanced approach in playoffs for whatever reason. I just don't.
Yeah, and the stars and scrubs approach is huge. It's actually we're approaching the race. This is the race that I won my tournament on last year, and it was a total stars and scrubs lineup that I won with. The guy came in first place and won one of the tournaments there. I think I won 2 tournaments this weekend. So maybe I can pull the repeat. I haven't gotten one yet this season, so I'm ready. I've gotten so close on a couple of races. It's been insane. So I'm ready to take it down to the town. To Tippy Town, and I did that by being
doing it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel the energy already in the room. It's already surrounding us virtually in the virtual garage here. But yeah, so our FanDuel specific play, it's going to be William Byron. He's 8.8K on FanDuel, and he's starting in 28th. Now, this is huge because we know that he's got a fast car, Hendrick, starting deep in the field, and anytime this kind of stuff happens, I mean, I just feel like it's a no-brainer that you have to have him in some lineups. And I'm not saying he's bad for DraftKings either, but he's just a little bit more pricier. I think he's somewhere up in the 9,000 range on there.
Yeah, 9,400.
9,400.
Yeah.
So yeah, but with FanDuel, man, it just makes a ton of sense to go after him. The best finish I think that he's had at this track was 7th, and that came last year at this race in 2019. So just love the play from just a place differential standpoint, and just the fact that he's got a 7-time champion in the box. He's already got a win this season. Unfortunately, he's out of the playoffs, but he still has a lot to prove. So, yeah.
I agree with you on that play for sure. Not saying it's a fade on DraftKings, but the way the pricing model works, just for context there, FanDuel prices people up from 15K down. And DraftKings really never goes above 12K. So while the prices, if you look at the numbers, you see that the price is about the same on both sites. It's just not feasible or as feasible on DraftKings. So maybe give him a look on FanDuel and then limit your exposure on DraftKings would probably be my advice. On your DraftKings lineups, if you really want to play him, then you'd be taking more of a balanced approach. So I'll just add that tidbit there.
That's it. All right. Viva Las Vegas. Viva Garage Guys. I'm Chase, Garage Guy Chase Holden.
Chef Boy.
Chef BoiRdeen, Drew Dean. Again, RotoBaller.com, promo code Garage. Go get that. Hit us up on Twitter. You can follow me at Garage Guy Chase. Follow Drew at Chef BoiRdeen. We're here for you. We're here to help you. It's playoff time, and it's still time to bag tourneys. So let's do it. Let's go to Vegas. Let's bag tourneys. So that's what Vegas is for. It's for making money and gambling. We're here, man.
That's on my bucket list before we go. I want to go to Vegas while my DraftKings lineups are submitted, win the tournament, and then take that money from the tournament win and go to hit the strip.
Right. I just want to win a car like on National Lampoon's Family Vacation. So,
there you go.
Like that one guy.
We both have our different dreams, but they're kind of the same. They're like,
yeah. I'll just take the money we win on DraftKings and go buy a car.
There you go.
Problem solved. All right, we're bagging tourneys. All right, you ready to skirt out of here?
Yep.
It's the Garage Guys. 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 It's the Garage Guys.
It's the garage guys. It's the garage guys. It's the garage guys. It's the garage guys. It's the garage guys. It's the garage guys. It's the garage guys. It's the garage guys. It's the garage guys. It's the garage guys.